Would you like to know how to fix bright photos when shooting in manual mode? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to rescue an overexposed photo. Don't go away. Hi, I'm Barry Callister of Photographer's Freedom, taking you from beginner to better to business. At photographersfreedom.com and here on my YouTube channel, you will find photography tutorials, camera gear reviews, photography business tips and more, all designed to help you no matter where you are in your photography journey. Subscribe if you like the sound of that, and also ding the notification bell so that you don't miss it when I release a new video. Right now, let's explore 3 ways you can fix an overexposed photo in manual mode. Now I'm imagining here that you are just dipping your toes into the manual mode pool for the first time and you're finding a lot of your images are overexposed or too bright. How can you fix this? The first way to bring down your exposure is to use a faster shutter speed. The shutter in your camera plays like a game of peekaboo with the light. When you press the shutter button, it opens up and exposes the sensor to the light. Naturally, the faster the shutter does this, the less time your sensor will be exposed to the light and therefore your photo will be darker. So you can see my current settings are an aperture of f4.5, ISO of 500 and shutter speed of 1/60th of a second. I'll take a shot of the pool area here and you will see that that is overexposed or too bright. Now I will raise my shutter speed to 1/400th of a second and we'll see the result. Still a little too bright, so I'll choose a faster shutter speed again. This time I'm going to use 1/4000th of a second. That's the fastest shutter speed I can get on the Nikon D5200. So let's see the result of this one. So you can see with that shot, it does look a bit dark on the grass and the pool fence and around that area, but the sky is correctly exposed. The next choice we have for bringing down the exposure of our image is ISO. The higher your ISO number, the brighter your image will be, and the lower the number, the darker the image will be. My settings are the same as what we started with before, aperture of 4.5, shutter speed of 1/60th, and my ISO is 500. I'll take a shot and you'll see that it is of course overexposed or too bright. Now I'll lower my ISO to 200 and take another shot. That one is also too bright, so I'll bring my ISO all the way down to 100, which is the lowest I can choose on the Nikon D5200. I'll take another shot and we'll see if that'll do it. Okay, so you can see that's still a little bit overexposed. It's nice around the grass and the pool fence, but the sky is way overexposed and too bright and there's no detail in it. So that's the limit that I can do with ISO. The third setting we can change to bring down the brightness of our photo is the aperture. Aperture is the opening in the lens that lets light through to your camera's sensor. If you have a small opening, less light gets in. If you have a larger opening, of course, more light gets through. I've reset my settings back to what we started with, so my aperture is currently f4.5. Now, depending on what lens you have on your camera, you may or may not be able to select f4.5. Some lenses only go to f5.6 at their widest aperture, so don't freak out. The widest aperture setting of your lens will be written on the side of the lens like this. So I will take a shot again, which of course will be overexposed. Now I will make my aperture smaller by raising the number. I'll set it to f8 and take another shot. That one is also overexposed, so I'll need to make the aperture even smaller. I'll set it to f14 and take another shot. So that has made the image darker again, but we still don't have a really good exposure because the sky's overexposed. So I could choose a smaller aperture again if I wanted to until I get a good exposure. Now with Aperture, the smaller number you choose, the less things in your photo will be in focus. This is called depth of field. So whether or not you choose to change your aperture to bring down your exposure will depend on the look you're going for with your photo. You may want a nice blurry background, which you only get with wider apertures, and therefore you won't be able to choose a smaller aperture without sacrificing that. This is just a very basic explanation of these settings. You may get different results depending on the light you're shooting in, whether it's full sun or shade or inside lighting. Your settings will also be different depending on what camera body you have and also the type of lens that you are using. With that said though, you now have 3 different ways in which you can deal with overexposed photos. The next time you take a shot and it's too bright, remember to change one of those 3 things: shutter speed, aperture, or ISO. You may even find that you need to change not just one of them, but 2 or even all of them to get a good exposure. Again, it will depend on the amount of light you have available and also your equipment. If you have enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, I would love you to hit the like button. Also hit subscribe and ding the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I love to hear from people who watch my videos too, so please leave a comment below as well, even if it's just to say hi. Until next time, I'm Barry Callister of Photographer's Freedom. Get out there, take some wicked shots. I'll see you soon.